everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Color X Malice along Aiji Yanagi's route. We're in the endgame with him. We've got the collar off, hooray! But Psyche and the rest of Adonis are still on the loose out there. All the big wigs in it, at least. Let's see exactly where we stand. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. Oh, and it's raining, which is so lovely. I want another rainy day here. Those are the best days where it's all nice and quiet and peaceful. It was raining for the first time in a while. It was as if somebody was crying. Or perhaps they were pleading for everything to be cleansed.
It's been 2 days since Rei Mikuni surrendered, and Adonis was exposed. But we still yet to discover the whereabouts of Yuzuru's Psyche.
Shiraishi too. Both he and Psyche have been placed on the special wanted list within the police.
Well, I didn't think they would be easy to catch. Right now, Minagishi, Morioka, Yanagi, Morioka included him in the investigation, and I were the only ones in Investigations HQ. Where's everybody else?
Rei Mikuni's testimony has been consistent. We don't believe he's trying to mislead us. As the rest of you are already aware, we want to verify that there are no inconsistencies, just in case.
I understand, sir. Minagishi had given us the compiled records of Rei Mikuni's testimony. I skimmed them over with Yanagi. Everything in the documents matched what we had learned from our pursuit of Adonis. X-Day was a grand plan that would judge all the criminals the law had failed to punish. The incidents leading up to their substitution murders by civilians motivated by revenge. These agents were implanted with microchips that would erase their memories if they were in a position to compromise Adonis.
On January 1st, Adonis will execute all the colored criminals, use this to incite Japan, and reform the country's consciousness.
Now, how exactly were they going to catch all these people and collar them? And how in the world did they make all these collars?
This plan utilizes the same collar that had been placed on Officer Hoshino. The toxin is a compound developed internally by Adonis. There's not a commonly available antidote. Since we've captured their facilities, we should be able to save the colored criminals once we discern their locations. If we can find them, that is. Cybercrime has their work cut out for them.
Most of Sasuke figured that out easily enough in Mineo's route.
Yes, we've assigned all available resources to them, but there's indeed a limit to what they can accomplish.
They were hackers, not miracle workers. I wondered if we could really locate everyone by January 1st. We couldn't help but feel impatient.
Also, about Mikuni. There was one topic which he wouldn't divulge any information on.
Yuzuru's Psyche?
Correct.
But he said he would help us catch him. That was part of his deal with Yanagi. Well, I guess Yanagi didn't give him 2 days after all.
Rei Mikuni insists he was solely responsible for the X-Day crimes, and that he was Adonis's elder. He's been saying that Psyche was merely one of the rank and file who acted independently.
This is in direct contradiction with what the other leaders have been saying. They've testified that there's another elder who isn't Mikuni. It's apparent that Mikuni is trying to cover for Psyche.
I'd reached the end of the documents. Everything matched what I'd heard from Psyche.
So, Morioka, what's the real reason you called us in here?
That doesn't sound good.
You can't have asked us here just to show us his testimony.
I've been troubled for a while over how I should deal with Hoshino.
Please don't fire me! Huh? When he said that, I thought of what had occurred after I got the collar. We had told Minagishi and Morioka the whole story about my collar. I couldn't get it off by myself, and since I was being threatened, it made sense to disclose that information. The reason Psyche targeted me was still vague, so they couldn't rule out the possibility that I had some ties to the organization.
Wait a minute, she's... Relax, Yanagi. We didn't summon you here to punish you or anything. Commissioner. But the fact remains that suspicion toward your group is rising. We can't just ignore this.
Why are we more suspicious now?
If we do, the voices of doubt will grow until they're problematic. If that happens, we run the risk of lawsuits. Therefore, we want to ask your cooperation in clearing up these doubts, as well as in capturing Yuzuru's Psyche.
Our cooperation?
Yes, Yanagi. You made direct contact with Rei Mikuni. And Miss Hoshino, you were chosen as a subject of the collar experiment by Yuzuru's Psyche.
That's true.
You must hold some particular significance to Mikuni. You're not just some nameless random cops.
I don't have any ties to Mikuni. I don't know if I do with Saiki, but not Mikuni. What about you, Yanagi?
He might be willing to share some information with you.
In other words, you're asking us to interrogate Mikuni?
If you can get anything out of him, it could give us the clue we need to track down Saiki once and for all. It'd also dispel the suspicions around you. It's a chance to kill two birds with one stone.
Well, I have no reasons to say no. I'd love to help.
Hoshino aside, I'm not part of the police. Am I allowed to be in there with Mikuni?
We'll make it work.
Police Chief Takeda has returned to police headquarters. We don't have to worry him for the moment. Can I ask you to do this?
Of course, we had no reason to refuse. I also wanted to repay the goodwill that Minagishi and Morioka had shown us. Yanagi and I nodded together.
I see.
In my opinion, Rei Mikuni didn't look particularly weary. I was seated directly across from him. Yanagi was behind me. Mikuni looked straight at us. He looks happy.
It must have occurred to them that I might be more willing to speak openly with you two.
That transparent, huh? He smiled as if he saw right through me. For a moment, I was at a loss for words. Still, I spoke with determination. Please, tell me about Yuzuru Saiki.
Because you want to stop X-Day? I don't think it'd be a bad thing for you police if the criminals were simply allowed to die. The public opinion might turn rather harsh if the police were unable to stop this wanton bloodshed from occurring.
Yeah, that would be a bad thing for the police. You said you wouldn't think it would be a bad thing, but that would be a bad thing. I'm not asking for the dignity of the police. I need to know what you know about him for my own sake.
And why is that?
I went to the academy with Saiki, but I never noticed. He was always talking about a strong desire for justice and how he wanted to make sorrow vanish. That didn't change even after he revealed to me that he was the elder of Adonis. So we don't understand why he went to such extremes. I just want to know what could have twisted Saiki so much.
I don't know.
Rei Mikuni laughed quietly. His smile contained a hint of resignation.
Or are you trying to protect him? The police already view him as the primary suspect. No matter how much you try and shield him, the police are going to charge him for these crimes. No, I'm not protecting him. In fact, I'm like you, Miss Hoshino.
Huh?
I really just don't understand.
Rei Mikuni shook his head. Somehow he seemed smaller than he did before.
I should have been the one to understand him. Me more so than anyone else. I always believed we were on the same path. I didn't doubt that for a second. But I was wrong. Once I realized that, he was already out of reach. What is he thinking? What does he really want? Honestly, I have no idea.
I thought back to the conversation they had in the cathedral.
10 years ago, the promise we made to each other back then wasn't meant to bring about this future. If that's how you feel, then we never agreed. Yuzuru. You and I walked different paths all along. That's all.
The exchange between Saiki and Mikuni felt sincere to me. Let's see. What happened 10 years ago? You mentioned an event 10 years ago. Was that the start of something?
Yes. 10 years ago, Yuzuru's mother passed away. Don't tell me she was killed. No, she died of illness. She'd long been suffering from a terminal illness. Yuzuru didn't get his hatred or loneliness from watching the suffering and death of his mother. He sympathized with his mother's sorrow.
Sympathized? For a child still in his teens, I didn't think there was anything sadder than parting with his mother. But isn't that the point?
How sad she was. How pitiable. She often said things to that extent. Yuzuru's mother's predicament didn't allow her to go outside, a so-called state of permanent confinement. So she had been cursing her own fate right up until her death. Yuzuru always watched his mother closely. He said that it was a pity that she had to die that way, powerless to change her fate. It was as if it didn't concern him. It doesn't sound like he was consumed by a need to avenge his mother's death. That's correct. his mother's death was merely a starting point. But after that, whenever he saw the sorrow of people who felt the world was unfair, or people with tragic lives, he began to weep for them. He was overly empathic, and he swore over and over that he had to find a way to eliminate that sorrow.
And you sympathized with that?
I wouldn't say that I embraced the exact same line of thinking. Still, I've harbored my thoughts about the state of this country ever since my childhood. So I joined hands with Yuzuru. I am the one who built Adonis into the organization that is today. My mother was part of the leadership of the religious group that Adonis descended from. This was the foundation for Adonis. Since the group was modeled after a cult, the hierarchy required someone to be a figurehead. I made Yuzuru the elder to solidify the organization. Thus, the responsibility is all mine.
Still covering for him to the bitter end.
I'm only telling the truth.
I see. I didn't think that Rei Mikuni was lying. And that went for Saiki, too. Mikuni probably did think this was all his responsibility. I wonder if it's even feasible to keep looking for Saiki. Mikuni was probably sincere when he said that he didn't understand what Saiki was thinking. Then, who does understand him? Was he embracing an incomprehensible solitude?
It's circuitous, but it matches what Hoshino heard you and Saiki discussing.
Yanagi contemplated what he'd heard. He looked straight into Mikuni's eyes.
Saiki abandoned you, his comrade. You tried to stop him and reason with him until the very end, but he still rejected you. You don't seem to harbor any animosity. You may have known him for a long time, but why stick your neck out so far for him?
Mikuni opened his mouth, then stopped. His words trailed off into a whisper.
He was proof that I was alive.
Huh?
He was the only thing tying me to the world. I now realize this has always been the case, but I've likely never seen the real him.
He spoke with terrible melancholy. I couldn't understand the full extent of what he meant, but it seemed like the two of them shared a bond that went beyond friendship.
As he is now, Yuzuru won't be swayed by mere words. He's completely focused on becoming a tyrant. But that will never happen. He's changed.
You're wrong. I don't think he's changed a bit. I didn't know what Saiki was thinking, or what he wanted to do. But from what I knew, I didn't think he had changed. There's no doubt that he's taken more extreme measures. But his empathy for others' wounds, he made those wounds his own, and his desire to erase sorrow from the world are sincere. Even if we can't understand it, I don't want to deny his sincerity. I don't know if he wanted others to understand him, or if he merely sought out pawns to help him accomplish his goals. But he had looked for collaborators, so he hadn't abandoned Mikuni. No matter what his true intent turns out to be, I can't avert my eyes from seeing the truth. The Saiki I know can't abandon people who are suffering in front of him. He always says that he wants to lend them a hand. It's easy to dismiss it all as a performance, but I believe we've seen enough to accept that those are his true feelings.
If you believe so fervently, you might be right.
Mikuni chuckled bitterly. Adonis update added to the materials. The first executor. Yeah, at this point it's like nobody really truly knows the real Saiki.
The rain's not stopping.
Yeah. Can we call a cab? Yes, the rain had intensified. In the end, we didn't make much progress.
Just as catching Mikuni didn't solve everything, I'm sure that this all wouldn't end even if we captured Saiki. There will always be people who seek vengeance or a chance to act upon their sorrow when something unfair befalls them. After this incident, there could be people who agree with what Adonis has done. There could be a new generation of Mikunis or Saikis.
Oh God, I hope not. A whole generation of Saikis? You're right. All the X-State criminals were ordinary people. They sought Adonis for salvation and revenge. This world didn't reward good and punish evil. Too many things in life were shades of gray.
Adonis is evil, so the police caught and punished its leaders. Publicly, that's the end of it. But I won't settle for that. I don't want to let it end here. I want to learn more about Saiki, and I want to know how we can save him from himself.
Yeah. Even if we couldn't understand him, even if our ideals differ, even if he had committed sins, even if he hated other people, I didn't want to ignore the sadness within reach. I wanted to extend a hand to him. I agree with you. My feelings still hadn't changed. It was like Psyche had said. I felt the same even when it was about him. And back to work as usual, I guess.
Are you okay, Hoshino?
Mochida approached as soon as I returned. He looked terribly worried. He must have heard about Psyche. Mochida had also been close to Psyche. I'm sure they've interviewed him as well. I'm okay. Thanks for worrying.
Yeah, I figured you'd probably say something like that. Tenacity may be your strong point, but it's alright to whine a little when things get tough.
Mochida. Oh, I used to do that to Psyche. We used to go out to drink and wine together.
Well, they still haven't solved everything, but we can rest now.
A little, maybe.
I was thinking maybe we could go and get ourselves a drink.
Aw, a new drinking buddy. What are you talking about, sir? It's Christmas Eve. It's a special day that only comes once a year, so go spend it with your wife.
No, well, I was going to do that too. Don't party too hard, Hoshino.
Yes, sir.
Moreover, whatever form X Day takes, you should just go do what you want to do, so that you don't regret it. Even if you fall on your face, it's still better than regretting the fact that you didn't try.
I think you're right.
Yeah, well, guess it's back to work.
Watching Mochida return to his desk, I resumed thinking. There are 8 days left until X Day. If we hadn't removed my collar, my life might be in jeopardy right now. Fortunately, I'd managed to escape that fate, but now I was at an impasse. So I don't have any regrets, eh? Does that mean it's time to make another move on Yanagi so I don't have any regrets? A text? I took out my phone to check the new message. It was from Sakuragawa. Are you free tonight? Can you get out of work on time? You want to offer to be my new drinking buddy? I can. I don't have any plans afterward. Darn it, it is Christmas Eve. Why aren't I asking Yanagi out? I was so bold that I told him I love him. It was a little sad to realize I didn't have any plans on Christmas Eve. It's your own fault. I suppose I should be glad not to have work. I wasn't on the late shift, so I could leave. I thought about buying a cake on the way home at least, as I sent my reply. Shall we single owners drink? It'll be me, you, and Mukai. Looks like I have plans after all.
And then when we wake, we'll be having a brand new Christmas day. The New Year, that is. What? No put-downs for new Yanagi? Oh, it's almost the New Year. Yeah. I hope it's a safe one. No. That's weak, man. Jeez. Why are you spacing out this time? It's lonely to be the only one excited here. I'm jealous of the fact that you can be excited about Christmas, given the current situation. Fine. I know, Minayo's an idiot. Hey, Enomoto. Yeah? Why have you stuck with me? What? When Satake introduced you to me, you had zero interest in solving the cases. You wanted to confront your past, but you also wanted to avoid it. You were stuck for a long time. I knew you were suffering, but all I did was watch. I couldn't do anything to help you. That's how it's been this whole time. Even though I quit the police to pursue the cases on my own, I was severely limited. I sympathized with the criminals, investigated Adonis. In the end, who was it really for? Maybe I was only here to satisfy myself. I doubted the purpose of this office, but you and Hoshino, even Sasazaka, you all put your trust in me. I know it's a bit late, but I found it odd. Why did you all decide to trust me? Yanagi, are you actually stupider than you look? Coming from Enomoto? Well, maybe you just have a low opinion of yourself. Have you been worried about that this whole time? You know, you're the last person I want to hear that from. Exactly. Takeru would agree with me. So would Hoshino, Okazaki, and Shiraishi. We all know you prefer to do things your way more than others do. You're not tied down to anyone. Even if I had to say it as a negative, you're selfish. There's some truth to that. We wouldn't follow you for no good reason. What would be the point? Look, don't sweat the details. Just accept the fact that I got your back. I'll be lonely if you don't. Enomoto, you made a place for me to belong. That alone's been enough to save people. I won't let someone make fun of the Yanagi I respect. Not even you yourself. You better carve that into your soul. Sorry. You're right. I was being stupid. It's not like you, man. Don't tell me you were wondering that about Hoshino. What's gotten into you today? You're way too sharp.
It's a Christmas miracle. Christmas Eve miracle.
But you're right. I've always been sensitive to emotions. When people normally act cheerful, I know. I have to be the way that I am for someone else. Whoa, I'm being super deep today, man.
Don't ruin it.
So you are. Thanks, Enomoto.
Patting himself on the back indeed. Oh, there she is.
Over here, Hoshino. Huh? Why is everything moving? Earthquake?
Are you drunk already? Mukai, sit down, please. When I got to the pub, I saw that Sakuragawa and Mukai had already started partying. They're so drunk. Aw, man, it's no fun if I had to catch up. Even if they rushed here right after work, they couldn't have been here for more than 30 minutes. What, did you guys just down a bunch of shots? What drinking technique did they employ to get this wasted? Especially Mukai. Come on, have a drink. Here's to feeling good all the time. Sure. Sakuragawa pushed a pint glass into my hand and forcefully pulled me a full glass of whatever it was they were drinking. So, I hope nothing too crazy happens, but the mood is pretty dark everywhere. And the only prescription for that is more booze.
Exactly.
Mukai, you're spilling.
Oh, whoops. No, that's not the point. My life's a mess right now, and I've fallen under suspicion thanks to that crappy director.
That's right. Mukai worked under Shiraishi, and Shiraishi had gone AWOL.
But I can see it. He's definitely the sort of man who wouldn't blink at committing a crime or two. And I think he was actually a terrorist. It fits him so well, it's hilarious. He's the world's worst scumbag.
Mukai? I felt that she was going too far when I realized that Mukai had started crying, even though she was still in the middle of her merciless takedown of Shiraishi. Oh.
Every single time he says things that rub people the wrong way, he's completely ignorant despite his ridiculous talents. He ignores everything that doesn't interest him, and doesn't even remember people's names. I've never seen anyone so useless. But even if he's a terrorist, even if he's someone who never does anything except when it suits his needs, his achievements were real. He's actually saved many people's lives. So many of them. Yet, he had to go and throw it all away. Honestly, he's incorrigible and a moron. Of course, I've always known this, but still, I've never imagined he was this stupid. Stop hiding, director, and show your face right now!
Mukai had surely trusted Shiraishi more than anyone else. She was understandably furious and crushed. Shiraishi wasn't here, so there was nowhere for her to vent her feelings. Oh, don't cry. You'll smear your makeup.
It's all that stupid director's fault.
Well, of course it is, Eriko. I tried to comfort Mukai. I always wanted to believe in Shiraishi. I heard that Shiraishi had helped rescue me when I was kidnapped. He had acted of his own volition rather than as a member of Adonis. I remember that Yanagi smiled with a bit of pride when he told me. I don't know why he's just disappeared, if that's the case. Because he didn't want to be arrested, maybe? I didn't think he'd run for self-preservation. I could. Anyway, nothing's gonna happen if we keep whining. Anyone has something more fun to talk about? Fun? I can't really think of anything like that in these circumstances, though. I guess you're right.
Oh, that's right.
Yes?
Since we're on the subject, Hoshino, you and the director are lovers, right?
No! What? Don't tell me Mukai's that kind of drunk.
I'm terribly sorry for saying all that without thinking about your feelings.
Oh, no, you've got it all wrong. Shiraishi and I aren't like that. No, really, seriously. Yeah, that was the last route.
Is that so?
Really? I thought you two were an item too. So then, do you have someone else? Who cares about that? I fumbled over my words and reached for my full glass of beer. In an instant, it was empty.
I chugged that one. Of course, we care.
She's right. We definitely care. And that reaction means that there's someone. Have another drink. It'll loosen those lips a little faster.
Even you, Sakuragawa.
Sakuragawa was pretty drunk too. Then, I realized that her urging had somehow gotten me to drain another pint without even realizing it. Hey, your glass is empty. How about I get you another beer? I think I'm good on beer for now. Maybe something non-alcoholic. Sake, shochu, whiskey. Time to change it up with hard stuff, eh? I'm not strong enough to chase my beer with something like that. I ordered a weak cocktail and took a break. I didn't feel like getting that drunk. So, you have someone you like, but you're not going out with them, right? There is. In the end, I admitted it. Maybe I just been reluctant to talk about it because I actually couldn't until now. Wow, I'm just talking about Yanagi. In that case, maybe it would be okay to talk about him a bit. I was definitely drunk.
Well, that makes things easier.
You never know what could happen. You should tell him how you feel.
I already did.
Well, I kind of already did. Wait, really? Then why are you free tonight? 'Cause he hasn't responded.
Are you waiting for him to give you an answer? How could he do that to you? It's Christmas Eve, you know. It's the perfect time of year to reply. This is no time for you to be in a bar.
Yeah, what are you doing out here with single ladies? Go call your man.
Huh? Right now! You go and hear what he has to say! Now! Good lord, you two are pushy.
But why? Yeah, that's right, it's his turn to make a move. I didn't understand, but what I was really unsure about was, what if he actually does give me an answer? Sakuragawa made me realize I longed to know. Why are you girls pushing me to go and talk to him when I'm drunk? You two should really sober me up a little first. This is a bad idea. Well, they're more drunk than I am, so they probably don't realize that they should sober me up. I started writing a text. I hastily thought about the message I wanted to send and just went ahead with it. Oh, dear God. I shudder to think what that message actually said. I want to see you. Is this okay? I wasn't thinking this rationally.
Yeah, this is not going to turn out right. What's up?
Oh, he answered.
Just call him to come out. Any reason is fine.
Okay. I want to see you right now.
Leave now. Where are you?
Oh, God. He's gonna come here, seeing us all drunk.
Are you okay?
Yanagi came right away. But I'd sent him a semi-urgent message with no explanation, so he didn't seem to understand what was happening. No way! You met Yanagi?
You know him, Sakuragawa?
Yeah.
Then our job is done, right? Please take good care of Hoshino. Okay.
Wait, huh? You should know who he is too, Mukai. Oh, wait, you're way too drunk. That's okay. We'll give you two some privacy.
Of course. We'll leave the rest to you youngins. Are you too drunk?
Yes. It was the only response I could muster. With a sidelong look, flustered by Yanagi, Sakuragawa and Mukai stood up to go. Give it your all, Hoshino.
Pretend to fall into his arms 'cause you're drunk.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure we didn't hear that. My heart was fluttering, worried that Yanagi might have heard her hushed encouragement. On to stop number 2 of our pub crawl.
We'll drink to your success. That might be premature.
Well, no, then again we are in chapter 7. Then, like a tidal wave building momentum, they left.
They look very drunk. At least they can walk, so maybe they'll be okay.
Probably? Sorry for calling you out so suddenly.
Don't worry about it. I'm fine if it helps you feel better.
Oh, I'm so glad he's not mad. Yanagi took off his jacket and sat next to me. After ordering something from a passing server, he shrugged and chuckled.
It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Enomoto even got excited and decorated the office. He was really looking forward to having a party.
Oh, did I take you away from Enomoto's office party without thinking?
Nah, it's an Enomoto party. He's the only one celebrating or attending.
Oh, that's so sad! That's messed up! He should have invited me! Oh my god, that totally makes me want to cry. Really?
Yeah. Sasazaka is still holed up in Investigations HQ, so he probably wouldn't come even if we invited him.
So he got all excited even though it was only him?
Well, yeah.
I feel so bad for him. Me too! I'm sorry, Enomoto! Why don't we go see him now? While I mentally apologized, Yanagi's order came. It was sake. Well, let's toast since you're here, in honor of your hard work. Our hard work.
Sure. Cheers.
Cheers. I touched my glass to the one that Yanagi extended to me. The glasses clinked with an icy ring.
So, why'd you ask me here?
'Cause the drunken one summoned you.
You were drinking with our colleagues, right? Didn't you guys have something to talk about?
Well, I looked around at a loss. I want to hear his answer. That's right, we gotta finish that. It was Christmas Eve. I wanted to dream a bit, but I'll never recover if he shoots me down. And the mood and setup now are terrible. I called him out here when I was buzzed, but I couldn't see this ending well now. I'm thirsty.
Hey!
Not knowing what else to do, I took a gulp of the drink that I was holding. Now my head was swimming. Ugh.
Hey, you're drinking too much. You're turning red, too. Be careful.
But there's still some left.
Give me that. This is for you.
In my stupor, Yanagi took the glass that still held alcohol in it away from me. And instead, he handed me a glass of water. I watched Yanagi gently bop me on the head as I took the glass that he offered me with both hands. As I savored the sensation of his large hand, Yanagi used his free hand to raise the glass he had taken from me. Then he drank the remaining liquor. Oh, our first indirect kiss! He raised the glass I'd been drinking out of to his lips without missing a beat. Is that his answer then?
What's wrong? You're cut off. If you're thirsty, order a soda.
No! Oh, nothing! It's nothing at all! I couldn't possibly admit to something as embarrassed as being flustered by an indirect kiss at my age. When I looked at Yanagi tilting his head in confusion, the world only spun faster. What now? I need to think of an escape plan. No, just get his answer. Deal with it. How fine, we'll play drunk. I totally want to order more and get him drunk, though. That sounds like the more fun thing. Oh, but I guess that would totally backfire because he's, probably totally immune to alcohol, right? He could drink forever and not get drunk. For now, I played drunk. I was actually drunk, so I wasn't lying. I think a little reserved. While saying that, I tried to snuggle up a little against Yanagi. When I rested my head on his shoulder, I could feel his body heat. He was warm. This is a convenient act.
Hey, are you okay? Is it that bad?
He was probably surprised because I'd gotten so close to him. But his initial anxiousness seemed like it was venturing more into concern.
If you can't even sit up anymore, maybe it's best that you head home.
Now I just felt guilty. I made him worry needlessly when he was actually concerned for me. Sorry, I'm drunk, but not so drunk that I can't sit up straight. I wanted you to pamper me. Sorry.
Oh, that's good then.
Yanagi breathed a sigh of relief after I sincerely apologized.
If that's all you wanted, you could have just asked.
Huh?
Well, you were pretty cute.
Oh, he's blushing.
At least I didn't push you off, right?
I was still leaning on him so I could hear him whispering close to my ear. He sounded embarrassed, and I don't think I imagined it. Did you just say I was cute?
Yeah, you're so cute that I think you shouldn't do that in front of men.
I would never do that except with you. It seemed to have had an effect. For a little while, the moments awkwardly passed in silence. I became aware of the fact that Yanagi was staring at me. Okay, we're gonna break the video there. We'll continue on with our awkward, drunken, possibly getting together scenario in the next episode. Oh, I can't wait for that. I guess we have a little while before we start actually pursuing Saiki and XD again. So I hope to see you in the next video or some of my other ones, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.